Well, hey folks, VIPER coming to you in the man cave, and this is the HOBBYKING 64mm VIPER. Let's take her out in the field and get you some more flights. I've already got you the maiden flight and I think a speed run initially, and I just want to get her out again, and I want to get you some more flights and show off this beautiful little plane the HOBBYKING sent to me for review. It does have some things about it that are of concern, but all in all, she's a great flyer. Let's take her out in the field and let's show you what I mean. Well, hey folks, FGFRC out here at the Avon Park Field. HOBBYKING sent me out the VIPER 64 for a review, and I'm gonna tell you, this thing's got one of the best sounds of a 64. It's got a deep, throaty howl, and for a little bitty plane, it sounds like a 90.
Motor is hot, be careful.
All right, wind is out of the west, southwest, so this has a great sound for such a little plane.
Takeoff flaps.
I probably don't need takeoff flaps, but I'm going to use them anyways. 4-minute timer.
Timer reset. Up. AS3X mode.
Want to take it up? I'm going to show you how slow this thing can fly.
Landing flaps. Time remaining 3 minutes.
All right, we're going to bring her by. Flaps are down. I mean, that's just barely cruising by. All right, let's kick it up. Let's kick it up. Right roll. All right. Had enough power to kick over on an outside roll from inverted. And I love the color. You don't have to go full speed all the time. All right.
Time remaining to landing flaps.
Little touch and go. Doesn't that have a great sound? Twister. Gonna take it up and tail slide? Hell, maybe. Try tail sliding over here now. Well, well, the bugs are bad today. All right, let's do another touch and go. Stay on that rudder, on that rudder. Little bounce and go there. Great sound, absolutely fabulous sound. All right. Little windy up there. That's okay.
Landing flaps.
Oh, pop the nose there.
Flaps up.
I'm going to take her up one more time. One more time.
Take off flaps. Flaps up.
Got to redeem myself.
20 seconds.
All right. Stay on that rudder, into the wind, line up in the middle of the runway the best I can. Throttle. Hold on. Let me go around. Didn't like it. If you don't like it, go around. There, that's 4 landings for the price of 1.
Timer expired.
Ooh, that wind. Look at that wind. Some that has I'm not showing right now.
Braking. Cruise mode.
All right.
Jets are cool.
We were 6 seconds over on a 4-minute timer. Let me move off the runway here. Oh. 2 batteries in series, both 2200 3S's. They're I think they're the Turnigy short. No, these are actually gold bat batteries. First time I've ever used them. I'm going to have to take them out of there. Okay. Yeah, they're got them on Amazon. Gold DAT 2200 with an 80C. Should be about 20% left. 27% on that one. And 28% left on that one. All right, well, there you go, folks. That is the HOBBYKING 64, one of the best-selling 64s. It's got a mean, deep, throaty sound to it. Now, if you want to use 2 2200s, you have to buy yourself a series adapter. There'll be a link to where I got mine on Amazon, like 10 bucks for 2 of them, 9 bucks, I think. Running AR630, but we'll go over all the rates and everything back in the man cave after both flights. We'll see you there. God is good. Fat Guy Flies RC out here at the Avon Park Field, going to take up the VIPER 64 for HOBBYKING. Sent me out to her for review. Take it up and do the second flight. Have a little bit of fun with her. Of course, that's the whole reason you're out here, right? Is to have a little bit of fun.
Motor is hot, be careful.
All right, 4 minutes. 4 minutes on the 2 2200 3S in series to give me a 6S. Absolutely phenomenal flying little. It's windy too, so. All right.
Take off flaps.
All right, here we go.
Timer reset. Flaps up.
Whew. Windy.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna hit it. Love the sound. I'm gonna take it up now. Kill the motor. Gliding now, gliding, gliding, gliding. Back in the motor. Take it out here. Bring it by slow to the wind. Peel away from that sun so I don't get blinded. All right, let's see if we can Harrier land this thing.
Time remaining 2 minutes. Flaps up.
That is so much fun. Oh, that wind is pushing that tail. Pushing that tail. Alrighty. One more time. No flaps this time. All right, we'll go down the other way, down the other side over here. We'll do it down at this end.
Time remaining 1 minute.
We're going to take it up now. There. Whoa. Windy. That wind caught it there for a second. All right, let's take it in for a landing this time.
Landing flaps. Flaps up.
I'm going to try it again. Can't leave it like that.
30 seconds. Landing flaps.
See if we can Harrier land this time.
20 seconds. Ten.
There we go.
Flaps up.
That wind is pushing that plane.
Jets are cool.
All right. Oh, hold on, watch the plane. I'm gonna get my checker. Let's check. Check, had 6 seconds left on a, hold on, sorry.
Timer reset.
6 seconds left on a 4-minute timer, so 3 minutes and 54 seconds. Got dual 3S or 3S 2200, the shorties from Turnigy. That one has 43%, and this one 44%. So that's about right. Got an AR630 Spectrum antennaless receiver in there. No problem with the range, no problem with flight, and no problem with power, and a real problem with a crazy pilot inside. But other than that, or the one controlling the plane. Other than that, that is an absolute awesome little jet. Hobby King, thank you so much for giving it to me for a review. I'm really enjoying it. It looks good. The green on this is so bright, it's almost like lit up bright. And the video and pictures don't do it justice. You have to see it in person to appreciate just how bright that green is. But anyways, good little jet. We'll see you back in the man cave. We'll go over all the rates and everything about it, and we'll talk about it and have a good time. Meet you back there. God is good. And don't forget, faith, family, and friends, and then Vipers. Bye, y'all. Well, hey folks, well, we had some fun. It was a little windier than I was expecting it to be. But then again, y'all watch Fat Guy Flies RC enough, you know that if I don't have a 15-mile-an-hour cross breeze across the runway, I'm not happy. So if it's a calm down, I'm going to crash a plane. I think, if I remember in the intro, I said I had some areas of concern about this plane that are really, they're more like gripes that aren't necessary. I bet things that I used to be aware of. But this is a 170 to 190. I think it ranges in price from 159 up to 199 plane. So it's an entry-level plane by cost. So it's not going to have all the bells and whistles. Things I don't like about the plane is this latch here is like really, really hard. It's very strong, very heavy duty, but it's really, really, it's almost like really hard to activate. Minor gripe. If you put, oh, by the way, these are two 2200. They're a little heavy duty. I think it's heavy duty. Turnigy, two 2200 shorties. They sent these out to me for a review with the plane. I'm like, cool. I believe, to me, they make a big deal that this plane runs on 6S, and they make a big deal about doing that. Okay, well then they should supply a series adapter. I'm sorry, I just think they do it. I mean, bump the price by $5 and include one. I'll put a link in the video and description where you can buy. I'm not an affiliate with Amazon, but I bought for like $9. I got 2 of these off Amazon. I'm having no problem at all. And obviously it has an XT60. But if you look right there where I've got, and the gripe is that if you put these shorty 2200s in there, they're so thick that they kind of bow the fuselage out. And the strap is just way too long. Even if you use a larger pack, which I don't know how you could fit them, the strap is like way too long. I'm not even able to use the strap. It's just too much. And you don't even need them because they're so tight, they're not going anywhere. And I put some Velcro in there anyways. But yeah, that latch, you really have to kind of fight with the latch. Be very careful when you're putting the plane together. This is a minor gripe. Pay attention. If you look real close, everything's kind of like marred in there. I had the hardest time getting these 2 front screws to line up, and I kept having to fight with them, and finally got them to line up. Now, sometimes that's a production issue where they get a little bit of foam down the channel of where the screw goes in, and you can't see it with a naked eye. And you got to just work that out in order to get the screw. But it took me a while, and I'm pressing and pressing. I finally got them in there. And that just took, that was a little bit of damage that was unnecessary if they just would have made sure that the machining is better. But that's, like I said, a minor. I was able to achieve a solid connection with the screw. The decals, the green decals that they use to make the cover up the tape, it's okay quality, but it easily peels up on the corners, or when they join these 2 pieces of tape together, they were peeling up. So I put some packing tape over just to hold them down. Okay, well, while we're here, that's the CG where they got that line of tape 7 in that hole that covers up the hole where the servo wires go in. You can actually kind of feel it, but that's right where the CG is 70 millimeters back from the leading edge root, which is where the fuse touches the wing touches the fuse. And it's the front of the tape is 70, rear of the tape is 80. So if you put your finger right dead center of that tape, which you can feel, she pretty well CG's perfect right there. Okay, so that's nice. The other gripe I have about is when you put, see that nose gear? That play? Okay, that play. Can't take that play out. And if you put the nose gear and you pull that pin all the way down and then shove this nose gear all the way up on that shaft and then anchor it down, you'll miss the flat spot that's in that shaft that grub screw attaches to. So you got to let it fall the way it is, and there's not much shaft that comes down for you to attach your gear to. So there's very little holding that front gear on. Now, I have on camera flown this thing, I think 4, maybe 5 times. Took off and land at least 3 times per flight. So I got multiple takeoff and landings. on camera where I've had no problem with this gear. I have flown this plane off camera. Now, the maiden was a true maiden. I had never, didn't have the air. But in between the maiden flights and today's flights, I had her at the field with me and I was flying other stuff and I flew her for fun. I mean, I flew like, I think 7 or 8 more flights with her. Just because I brought the batteries, I didn't film it. Yeah, believe it or not, I don't actually always film everything I do. Sometimes I fly just for me. And this is one of those planes that I'm like, that's a fun little plane. And but my point is, I've yet to have that, even though it's kind of weak to me, and then kind of you hear that noise, that when it fall or lands. Okay, Hobby King, you need to tighten that up a little bit, but I haven't had it fail on me. Okay, the gear are very strong. You can easily take them out. The wheels are a little hard, but that's no big deal. That really is no big deal. And you are intended to take this and fly a belly lander. But if that's the case, if that's what you want to do, they should have included some optional covers to put over to protect that with. But they didn't. But there again, this is an entry level, both by price and design. Now, that's all my little gripes about it. And they're minor. They are definitely not deal breakers. They're just being cost effective. Now, the nose thing, that could have been better. What I like about the plane, what I love, what I'm very impressed by, number one, if I get a plane for review and I want to fly it off camera and I want to fly it just for me, that's a good benchmark for me. That I'm wanting to fly the plane, just like the Tucano. I want to fly that all the time anyways, whether I'm reviewing it or not, just because I love it. The color, this color is so bright. These films, these videos, what you see on the internet does not do justice to just how bright this green is. This green almost lights up on its own. Great for orientation. And of course, you got the very distinct difference between the green and the silver, which is great for orientation. She flies really well. She's got probably the best 64 millimeter sound. In fact, I even did a YouTube short or a TikTok video on the sound of this thing. The sound is absolutely phenomenal. I don't want to turn on it here, but the sound is just, it's got this deep, throaty, mean sounding jet sound. It's just, for a little 64, it's very surprising. Usually they have a more higher pitch whine to them. Now, let's talk about rates and everything. Now, I've preached on. I'm running a AR630. Now, some things I also like about the plane is they got this little shelf right up there that just screams for you to put your receiver, and that's just a perfect, nice little flat level shelf, perfect for a receiver. Okay, nice hardwood tray for the battery to sit on. Okay, talk about rates. Right off the bat, we talked about CG. Let's talk about flap systems. Now, no mix. You don't need a mix. It doesn't need a mix. Okay. On a Spectrum, flaps up are 0%. Okay. Takeoff flaps are negative 50, and landing flaps, negative 100. Couldn't be more simple. Flaps up 0. Takeoff negative 50. Landing negative 100. Couldn't be more simple. No mix needed. And she performs really, really well on that. Okay. My flying rates. I flew in my high rates the entire time. And 100% expo, 100% throws, 30% expo on elevator and aileron. And on my rudder, 100% throws, but with 50% expo to help with the steering. Simple, simple, simple. I already know what my lower rates did. I don't use them. Got a throttle cut. Now let's talk about the AS3X. I got the AR630, which has been updated to, let me get you positioned a little bit better here. I don't know if that's any better or not. There you go. All right. My gyro settings, our AS3X settings, on the gains are at 40, 50, and 50 for roll pitching, y'all. Priority all at 100 on roll, pitch, and yaw. Heading, I did nothing with. With this, the AR630s, I have found that even though if you update them to the AR3, AS3X Plus, that the stop, lock, and release rate is not available. So whether that's by design or what, I don't know. But it's not available, so I don't have anything on that anyways. Gains are at one time, and I do not have the nose wheel gyro enabled, and instead I opted for thrust reverse that it has. But I'll be honest, I'm thinking about, since I have that open channel, I don't have that retract channel, I'm thinking about just putting the nose wheel gyro on this instead, because she's so light and she's small, and she slows down pretty decent, that I really don't need the reverse thrust. It's more of a novelty, and I would have more practical use out of the nose wheel gyro. So, but I've got several videos on how to do that. But so you can look it up on my channel, just put in nose wheel gyro, and I got like 3 videos on it. But I think I'm going to do that with this. But so there you go. Well, Hobby King, again, I ain't going to lie to you. I had not planned on buying this plane. It came out at the same time that the E-Flight 64 Viper came out, and I wanted that because I hadn't had a new E-Flight plane in a while, and I wanted that. My precious got it for me for Christmas, and I said, well, you know, I've already got a bunch of Vipers. I've got 3, I don't know how many Vipers I've got, and I said, I really don't need that. Well, the next thing I know, Hobby King contacts me by way of email and said, hey, we'd like you to review some planes for us. And I'm like, okay. And they sent me this, and they sent me the Rare Bear, they sent me the Super Tucano. And I mean, they contacted me, and I said, okay, what do you want? And they said, just review the planes the way you do your channel. We love your channel, we watch it, and we want you to review planes for us. And just be just like you are with all your stuff. You know, just, you know, if it's crap, say it's crap. If it's good, say it's good. You know, say why it's crap and why it's good and what we need to do to improve it, or what we need to continue doing that's good. And that's how I operate. That's how I run my channel. If I try to sell a plane to you for the point of selling it and pushing it because I got it for free, and then you don't love it, or you don't like it, or it's not what I said it was, are you going to come back and watch me again? No. Are you going to be mad at the company? Yes. Okay. And they're going to be mad at me. It's much better, and for long-term viewership, which this viewers, you know, this is why I do this channel, for me to be completely honest with you and say, here's the good things, here's the bad things. Now you be the judge before you spend the money, and here's what works for me and here's what doesn't work for me. And I will tell you right now, I like this plane. I like this plane. It's got incredible sound. It's pretty quick. It's not as quick as the E-Flight Viper 64. It's not as quick, but it might be as quick if I were to take the gear off, even though it's 6-cell. But you run those very economical 2200s or 1800 3S and series, and she moves, and that makes it a little cheaper. Or you can buy yourself a 6S battery, a smaller one, like anything from a 3000, 2500, 2200, somewhere in that range. I think I run a 2700 China Hobby in here sometimes, and it does just fine. You got to move it back a little bit because it's heavier, but they're great. It's a great little plane. It flies good. It has the most impressive sound of any 64 millimeter jet I've ever flown. It has such a deep, throaty sound. So there you go. What I give this plane, if I had a 1 being the pile of crap, don't ever buy it, and a 10 being the best thing ever, I'm going to give this a solid 8.5. Solid 8.5. And the reason is because this should be addressed. This is going to fail. I just feel like this is going to fail. Okay, just mind, because there's not much metal holding that front nose strut on. That's just my take on it. But other than that, and see if here it drop. And the mechanism is incredibly tight. And if you use the gear, the batteries they want you to use, it's going to swell the outside the way they fit in there. Those are things that need to be improvement. On a wish list, I would like to see plastic, reinforced plastic cladding on these inlets here. I'd like to see maybe some plastic cladding or something on the wingtips to help with scrapes. But there again, that's going to drive the price up. So Good little plane, solid little flyer. Could this be your first EDF? Oh, absolutely. You better believe this could be your first EDF, and I recommend it being your first EDF. Is it a beginner plane? No, not a beginner plane, but definitely could be your first EDF for sure. Very, very small, economical, 1100 millimeter wingspan, can fit, or maybe it's 1000 millimeter wingspan, I don't remember now. Easily fit in the back of the truck. You should not have to take it apart. It goes together really well, and I'm very impressed with the plane. For what you pay, for what you get, it is definitely a great value. And in my opinion, dollar for dollar, putting in a gyroed receiver versus the E-Flight Viper, which I have them both, I think this is a better value. I do. I think this is a better value. It's less intimidating because that E-Flight Viper 64 is now the better part of $300. It's like $269 before the tariffs, so who knows what it is now with the Bynafly. But you put yourself a nice receiver of your choice in this thing on that, on that shelf, you got yourself an awesome plane. Awesome, awesome plane. Thank you, folks, for watching. Thank you for being subscribers and viewers, or just stopping by and see what this fat guy is all about. Hobby King, thank you for sending this plane. I'm putting your trust in me to review your planes. I'm very blown away by the fact that you reached out to me and said, hey, can do this. Oh, yeah, another thing. This is all plastic, so when you take the batter back, it'll sit back. Well, that plastic there protects the bottom of that plane. That's just another little thing you don't see. That's a nice, oh, it would be nice to have a pilot, you know, but that's not a deal breaker. And you've even got provisions for one. You got the screws right there, and you could easily just debond this, peel this off, put your pilot in there, glue it in, whatever, and then put a little beaded glue and put that right back on there. And easy peasy. But all right, folks, God bless y'all. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends. God is good, and that is the Hobby King 64mm Viper. I love this little jet. Bye, y'all.